Welcome back to the channel for another video on our 05 STI. So as you can see, the car is still in the air. Last week we tried getting our IAG coilovers on the car, and we had new hubs and a roll center correction kit from Whiteline. We actually were not able to get a lot of that stuff installed because we ran into a few issues like the ABS sensors breaking on both sides and just having a difficult time taking a lot of stuff off. We actually bent one of the control arms, so we have a new control arm here. So I already have the driver side reassembled. Nothing's been torqued yet, and I haven't finished up on the passenger side yet. So I assembled the driver side to make sure all the parts that we ordered are going to work and everything. So let's go over to the passenger side and I'll show you what's left to do. And then of course we have to do the rears. We haven't even started the rears yet. So let's just get right to work. I want to get all the coilovers on today and the rest of our parts over here on. We have a new Whiteline Sway bar here as well. So let's just get right to work and let's get these coilovers installed. Let's go. All right, so over here, I wanted to hang the strut. So we got the strut put up, or the 3 bolts to hold this up. And then we just like slipped the hub on. So we don't even have the axle nut on. Everything is loose on this side. We do not have the ABS sensor on, and we just loosely connected the tie rod, and everything is still loose on this side too. So there is no control arm over here yet. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our new control arm. We're going to take the stock anti-lift bushing out, and we're going to put the Whiteline bushing in and the Whiteline ball joint. So I ended up deciding not to replace this bushing since this is brand new. And just like looking at this bushing, I mean, it's mostly metal. There's just this little portion here. I mean, it has no flex. So, and plus it's brand new. So I have no problem running a stock bushing here. We'll get the anti-lift bushing on here to give us that little extra caster and just overall a little bit better. And then the Whiteline ball joint should just slip right in. We have a new cone as well. So everything should just go on pretty easily. Once we have everything on, then we will torque everything down, but everything's gonna be loose how this side is. Then we'll go around and torque everything down, get our cotter pins in, and go from there. But let me get you guys set up, and yeah, well, let's first get this this bushing replaced, and then we'll get it slapped on. Let's go. All right, so we got our control arm and everything reassembled. This is our anti-lift bushing. So the way that you assemble it is OEM washer, bushing. They give you a new washer. You want the flat side with the bolt and the tapered side on the bushing. And then I like the hardware that they have here because it's a nylon locking nut. So there is a mechanical lock there as well versus the OEM bolt, which is just a bolt. But yeah, this is torqued to 103. So as you saw, I was just like standing on it and I was able to torque it down to 103. You can't torque this on the car. There's just not enough room. So there's still just a little bit of movement in the bushing. So you can still adjust it once you get it fitted to the car. So let's get the ball joint slipped in to the hub on the passenger side, and we'll get this control arm put in. I know this one was tough to get in, so I'll bring my mallet and we should be able to knock it in and continue on, but let's go. got this side assembled. New control arm is on. Tie rod, the ball joint, and our anti-lift bushing. So nothing's been torqued down. Oh yeah, and our new ABS sensor, and that plugs in right down here, that little sensor right there. So everything's on, everything needs to get torqued down now, obviously, that you can see. And we are just going to leave the collars loose. They are roughly the same height on both sides, but once we get everything installed, we'll be raising and lowering the car a few times to get the ride height correct. So yeah, and we got our axle nut on. So both fronts are ready to get torqued down. Once everything is torqued down, we will slap on our Perrin Endlinks in our box right there, in our brand new Whiteline Sway bar. And I did get this plate refinished, so that'll look really good going back on the car. And then here's just our graveyard of stock and broken parts. Broken sway bar, cut off tie rod, broken sensors, bent control arm. So well, it's actually funny, the dirty one is not bent, the cleaned one is bent. But yeah, this is our graveyard of parts. So let's get everything torqued down. I do have this Subaru book here. This gives me all of the torque specs for the suspension part. So I'll read through this and I'll get everything torqued down. If you guys want a copy of this, I'll put a link in the description below. I just picked it up from Amazon. But let's get to it. Just like that, everything is torqued down. Now these two bolts here for the anti-lift, those torqued down to 184. And I was scared the whole time tightening those. I just never knew when it was going to start beeping, but these two that bolt to the chassis go to 184. I haven't done the axle nut yet. That's basically the only thing that's left. The axle nut is only 162. I got it set up right here to do the axle nut. I just need a second person to jump in the car to step on the brakes, and we can torque that down. And we didn't get anything torqued on the knuckle just yet. So I still want to do, I'll probably just cinch it up and then I'll do some ride height stuff, and then we can adjust some camber and stuff with the camber bolt, and we'll go from there with that. But all that's left for the front is to get our Perrin Endlinks on. We got some new hardware, and we have our sway bar here. Freshly painted cover, so we'll get the sway bar thrown on now, and we will wrap up the front finally after over a week of working on this thing in the front and breaking stuff. We're finally going to get it done, and then we're going to be moving on to the rear. But the rear, we're just swapping out the struts. We're not doing all this other stuff, as we already did that a few months ago, and just like how the front turned out, we broke a lot of stuff, and it took a while to get that fixed. But let's get rolling, and let's get this front sway bar on. Let's go. All right, and we are finally done with the front. Everything is torqued down, including our knuckle bolts. You can see we just maxed out the camber on both sides. Whiteline sway bars in, Perrin Endlink, both our Whiteline ball joints, brand new ABS sensor, new hub and bearing. Got our axle nut torqued down and dimpled. So I mean, everything's looking really good. And brand new, of course. So brand new control arms on both sides. Same thing over here. Everything is torqued down, and we are good to go. So we're going to get the wheels put back on, and we're going to start to the rear. Now, the rear, we're just taking the strut out. We're not doing hubs or sensors or anything. So we're just going to take out the 2 bolts holding the strut, and then the 3 bolts inside the car. We have to take the back seat out. But we'll work outside the car, and then I'll clean my hands and everything before we go in the car because I'm not trying to get the interior dirty. But I'm super excited. Let's get started on the rear. All right, just to catch you guys up real quick, all the scary stuff has been done. We got the 2 bolts out that hold the strut to the knuckle, and we got on the rear, there's a clip, you see right there, that I had to hammer out. That was obviously very rusty, so I was happy I got that out. Brake line and everything is perfect, and the strut, it's already disconnected. So all that we need to do is go inside the car, and I need to get the baby seat and all this stuff taken out, but we need to get the back seat taken out. The strut bolts are right here, so you got to take the back seat out. It's right by where the seatbelt is. Should be pretty basic, just 3 screws or 3 nuts, and then the strut should be able to drop. We can slide the new IAG coil in, and the rear should be that simple. I'm really trying to get all of this stuff done today, not only because I want to get this video completed and this project done, but the car has been taking up space in the garage for over a week now, just in the air. So the 22 is outside, and I mean, it's filthy because it's just sitting outside and it's our daily driver. So I'd really like to get this thing wrapped up today as far as getting all the parts on. We might be able to have time to do some ride height adjustment today, but I definitely want to get all the parts put on, get the car backed up. We'll get the floor cleaned up and everything, and we'll go from there. But it's enough talking. Let's get back to where we still got a lot of work to do. Let's go. All right, super hyped with how the progress is going. Strut is out. Looks really good. No rust or anything up there, even behind the strut. Everything came out pretty easily on the rear. And like I forgot, on these GDs, they have these like rear covers that go over the top hats. But yeah, let's get our IAG coilover brought over and let's compare them. There's our brand new IAG coilover next to the rusty and crusty OEM one. Now this is 21 years old and obviously this is brand new, so this looks much better. But first thing you notice is the ride height. So I am going to adjust this a little bit because this is basically how much it's going to be lowered. So we're just going to extend this out a little bit. We'll probably do just about an inch. That's what I did for the front, and we'll go from there. Obviously, once we get everything back together, car on the ground, we're going to need to adjust ride height. So we're going to start with about an inch lower than stock, and we'll go from there. I'm super happy with how the rear is coming out. No issues taking everything off and going on. I mean, it's going to be twice as easy because we have new hardware to go on. We have a new camber bolt for the back because that's how we're going to be adjusting camber. So, I mean, it's going really smooth, so I'm really happy about that. I'll get you guys set up again, and we'll get this knocked out. Let's go. All right, and we are finally done with this install. Everything is torqued down. Everything is tight. I have the camber set max so we can get positive camber because that's our only adjustment that we have. And when we lower the car, it is going to camber. It already looks like it is kind of cambered. Front is all buttoned up. And We just finished up the rear over here. Still got some tools out. Oh, our flashlight's upside down, but everything is in. The bolts are the same on both sides, just so we can start from there. I do have a camber gauge to click on to our rotor, so I will mess with that until we get that the same. This is, I don't even know what these are. When I took the wheels off, these things are on there, but whatever. All right, so let's get the wheels back on. Let's put the car on the ground and let's see what she looks like. All right, first reveal. Yep, the front's kind of high, and the rear slammed. All right, so we just got everything wrapped up. I just got a fresh shower. I did a little bit of ride height adjustment, but here she sits now. So the IAG coils have been installed. We have brand new hubs, ball joints, tie rod end links, a sway bar, which we didn't expect to get, but we had to get. Brand new ABS sensors. I did take it for just a little drive just to make sure that we had no lights or anything, and the ABS sensors that we installed work perfect, so no issues with that. But let me get you guys spun around and we'll check this car out. Let's go. All right, and here is how she sits. So looking real good as far as height in the front. And our 3/4 view, I mean, it just looks good all around. We got a solid drop all the way around the car. Dang. So this is probably our last mods, I'm assuming, before Boxer Fest. We might do a couple little things here or there, but we'll get the car detailed as far as the inside goes. The outside is like immaculate. So when we did get the this side put on, and I did try to go on my first test drive, the camber was too much in and it was actually touching the strut. So very easy fix, since I have the SPC camber bolts. They're installed in the upper part of the hub. I just adjusted that a little bit, pulled it out another, I think I pulled it out a degree to match the other side, and obviously it drove perfectly fine on our first drive. So I really don't want to say too much about the reviewing the coils at this point, since I do want to get the car aligned and everything, because we did a lot of stuff to the car. Now the steering wheel is straight when we drive, so I did a pretty good job at lining up our tie rods and everything. And I mean, with the wheels straight, I mean, it looks like everything is straight. So when we get on the alignment rack, hopefully in the next week or so, I will be able to do a full review on these coilovers and let you know how they feel on the GD chassis. But that's all I got for you guys on this one. Got to clean up the garage and hang out with the family for the rest of the weekend. But that's all I got for you guys on this one. Until next time, see ya.